Black noise, taking back the Black narrative, Black perspective, Black stories, Black culture, making Black noise and refusing to be silenced.
He don't abide by religion, he keeps sinning. But if that's the case, don't mean that he don't have belief in him. Cause the higher power kept me alive in these systems. Cops offbeat with no heart, can't keep rhythms. People with no souls, tell me how you keep living with no goals. Before fool's gold, you keep digging. I feel the bias, the black man plight stretching on all the way back to when greed split up. I kept you long, aka the motherland, battling my brother.
Well, hello everybody. Hi. Thank y'all so much for coming through the Black Noise Podcast. You know what I'm saying? This is Chris.
What's up, everybody? I'm good. You don't have to clap.
Shalom. San Kofa, Ortilla. Got some special guests in the building right now. I'm saying Eshe. You know what I mean? Appreciate it. Definitely, you can tune into different episodes that we have on blknz.com. You know what I'm saying? That's the hashtag as well, hashtag blknz. The topic for tonight that we're going to be discussing is about Ujima, which is collective working responsibility. We're going to get into all that more specifically in a second. But I'm going to let Chris step in. We're going to bring up just some local current events going on, and you carry forward.
Yeah, and before we get into current events, in case anyone is not familiar with Black Noise and what we do and who we are and all that kind of stuff, just to try to summarize as best I can, I'll probably leave some stuff out, but you'll kind of get the general point. We're basically a media distribution platform for pro-Black, Black affirming, Black uplifting, all that. Like everything is all Black everything. What we're trying to do, all of us have pulled together our different skills and resources to kind of create this media company thing that we got going. And the mission of it is to highlight the intersections of hip hop culture and activism, especially here in Atlanta. We spun out of a grassroots organizing entity, I guess you could call it that, where we did a lot of, the actual protesting, every single time something happened. What was that? Was it Mike Brown that Gen Y was formed around? I don't remember.
I'm
Okay.
clear about that myself.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We kind of all got tired of marching, protesting, all that kind of stuff, to be honest. And we decided that we wanted to embrace the notion of self-determination as our method for enacting social change. So just the very act of us putting this company together for us is, our form of resistance. What we try to do is, like I said, distribute content that has anything to do with hip hop culture, specifically the positive aspects of it, and activism. So that's what Black Noise is. That's what we're focused on. That's what we do. We're definitely, media based. So we're doing this podcast right now. Like Shalom said, we save all these episodes, put them online, encourage people to share with their friends, but also, please be a part of the podcast. You have something to say, by all means, we want you to hop on this mic and, not let us just lead the conversation. That's not what we're trying to do. I see you, brother. So with that, we'll get to our format of the podcast, which is to do global news as well as local news, and then from there we interview our special guests, which we've already highlighted earlier. But these are our activists / artists / wonderful people, just a bunch of slashes. We hear more from them in a little bit.
Go ahead, Snapchat me real quick.
Yes, please. But with that, we'll hop into our news. So locally, we definitely want to talk about DeAndre Phillips. And for those of you who don't know, he was a local 24-year-old, I believe, young man who actually got killed in the parking lot of APD police annex building, which is like the equivalent of being killed in a police station. You know what I'm saying? He was in the parking lot. Sources are alleging, I don't know, what's the truth, that there was a marijuana smell coming from his car. A police officer goes to check the situation, or whatever you want to call it, and then next thing you know, DeAndre is dead, shot, killed, murdered. The GBI has taken over the investigation. They're not really trying to release too many details. But the family, to back things up a little bit, at first they weren't even trying to release their surveillance tapes, even though it happened on a police property. People protested, marched, all that. We got them to actually agree to, at some point, release the tapes. And as far as I know, the latest I know, the family has actually seen the actual tapes of what happened, and they're just kind of like, oh, if these tapes come out, we know justice will be served. So definitely keep that on your radar. As recent as this week, different groups have gone up to City Hall to the police safety meeting, which is where you would demand to see the tapes. They went up there. That's a big reason, I'm pretty sure, why they agreed to let the footage out to begin with. But keep that family on your mind. Getting back to Ujima, all of us collective responsibility. We got a part to play in all of this. And pay attention for future actions that may be happening, direct actions, whether it's, going back to City Hall, shutting down, or, who knows what it might be.
Yeah, I just point out real quick that it's always cute. I guess somebody brought this up. I was watching an interview or something, but like a lot of these police shootings, you don't really get a lot of press about them until like summertime.
Especially in Atlanta, like this.
Yeah, so it's just kind of like, that whole, it's going to be a hot summer.
Oh yeah.
Propaganda.
Oh yeah.
Push the thing. So like, if this is the time to push propaganda about something going on locally, and this is the time traditionally throughout the years, between city government and news media, they have very close ties and relationships amongst one another. So things that are going to be released, don't get released, are cherry picked. So definitely this is something to hashtag and all that other stuff to spread the word, get trendy.
Yeah, and that's just another big part of why we do this show, because we know so many media institutions are not even going to tell you about this, not even going to talk about this. Like for a lot of people, you have no idea this even happened. And it happened right there on Donald Lee Hollowell. I was actually up there, I want to say, less than a week before that happened, because I got caught up. I didn't pay my insurance. Okay, so my car got impounded. Somehow I was yeah. So I had to go up to the same place. Like I was there, that could have easily been me. That's my point. So I feel very passionate about what happened. And so for sure, like we're saying, like tell people that this is happening. Like we need to mobilize, organize all the I's, whatever, but we need to like make sure we at least know what's going on. So does anybody actually know anything about the case? Like, does anybody have more recent details? I would love for you to tell people. If not, yeah, there we go.
So
can we? I'm sorry. Can we get you on the mic? Can we get
you want me?
Or just talk really loud.
Oh, I talk really loud already. So they released the tapes to the family, and they plan on releasing the tapes. It said like February 24th to the general public. They released the name of the officer. I believe his name is like something like Yasin something.
Yeah, I didn't even want to try. I looked it up. I didn't want to.
But yeah, they released the name of the officer. He was like a 11-year veteran, like our officer, and he's currently on paid vacation leave. And there's an action on Monday to pack City Hall for DeAndre Phillips. So what was won at the public safety meeting was we finally got them to say they were going to release the tapes the following week, but they decided not to release them to the public. They actually decided to release them to the family. And then we got them to work on these ordinances. That Kwanzaa Hall, he's one of our city council folks, and he's running for mayor. Kwanzaa Hall 6 months ago said that he brought forth these ordinances that were they were kind of still on the books, on the record, and they're bullshit ordinances, right? They're like a bunch of things that say like people shouldn't wear aftershave, like it's illegal to sell aftershave, or marijuana under an ounce is still like criminalized, or just like laws that are really outdated.
Right.
And there's like 83 of those. And they're not official laws, right? But those are laws that folks can be fined for and you can be arrested for. So we're trying to get those off the books. And Kwanzaa Hall actually pushed that 6 months ago, but then hasn't been actually working on it, right? So we were demanding that Kwanzaa Hall, have City Hall actually take a vote, like have the city council members like actually say we're gonna get rid of some of these crazy laws, like we're not gonna be finding people for BS, because when you have things on the books like that, when people are trying to trump up black folks who are getting in trouble, hey, this random law in the book, I can say, here's a fine for you.
Yeah.
So that's what people are going to the court for on Monday, because we want to pack City Hall on Monday to say, hey, you all need to vote yes on working on these ordinances and getting rid of them. And it was brought to Kwanzaa Hall's attention as Kwanzaa, the people actually brought this to Kwanzaa, so he didn't even initiate it. So I will just let y'all know, Kwanzaa didn't actually make this bill, right? He didn't come to council. It was because organizers organized him to come to council. So we're actually, you could have got all the credit for it, but now we're gonna be real about it and be like, hey, Kwanzaa, you're not actually doing your job.
You still eating popcorn?
Yeah, that popcorn.
For those who don't know, there was another situation at City Hall when it's coming to about the homeless shelter on Peachtree and Pond being closed down. And while City Hall was still in session with the meeting, it was Avery, right? Actor named Avery was walking through the hallway, and because this was a motion that Hall had brought up within himself to shut down the shelter, he seen him while the meeting was going on in the hallway purchasing popcorn to eat, being too busy or whatnot to address the people who were up in arms about the shelter getting closed down or whatever like that. So, definitely you got to hold these people accountable. These are people, if you're living in the city, if you vote, these are the representatives that are supposed to be representing your interests, you know what I'm saying? So definitely keep eyes on that. I just also want to mention too, because I see a few hands coming up, we are going to have a section for Q&A as it comes up, and we'll let y'all know. Right.
Okay.
So.
All right, so we'll save comments for that, but please remember what you have to say, just for the sake of keeping things on schedule. You guys can understand that. Right. So moving on to global news. It's maybe not considered news, but definitely a big deal. I don't know if any of you have had time to go out to the movies. I'm not even sure when this movie came out, but James Baldwin featured in I Am Not Your Negro. It's a documentary that's out now. One of the legends, James Baldwin, author, activist, all the things you could think of, alive during the times of Malcolm X, MLK, and Medgar Evers. And he basically writes a reflection of his experiences, being alive, being a black man during that time period. And he decides conceptually that he wants to take a journey to figure out his place in America, I guess is how we could frame it. I'm not gonna, spoil the movie for you, but, powerful movie. Definitely will give you insight. I actually have seen it twice already. Oscar-nominated film, directed by, I'm not even gonna try to say his name either, but he's actually the Minister of Culture in Haiti, who made this film about, this colossal writer of American culture. So, definitely check out this film. If you don't see anything else this month, highly recommend it. And the reason why that's the national story, of course, it's distributed nationally. I really do think when people see the film, it really will change, the way people think, feel, see themselves, all kind of stuff. So with that, like I said, he's a writer, creative artist, all that. We'll transition into getting ready to interview our special guests. Eshe Anika, fabulous choreographer, performance artist. I don't know what all, you want the people to know, how much you want to tell them. I'm not trying to, steal your thunder. Eshe's you've been busy, girl. I've been seeing you on Facebook. Glad that we can be like a stop on your tour, because that shit been working. So we'll take a quick music break unless anybody else wants to say anything.
Well, that's the case. We can get these questions in.
Okay, yeah, I would prefer. Yeah, so yeah.
My man right here had his hand up first. Actually, go ahead.
When we was talking about them getting shot off of Blackhead Highway,
yeah.
I think the only thing,
I mean, there really is no justice. There's no need of justification, especially now, especially things that happen to how we supposed to mobilize to change that?
Just accept the fact that every day you know.
Well, one, I'm like, you know what I'm saying, I'm not swearing, I don't have the answers. But what I will say is to keep in mind, one, we have to talk to each other more. We have to keep the eyes and ears open in our neighborhoods. You see everything going on with gentrification, big business moving in. That's their priority. To protect property. It's always been like that since the foundation of this corporate nation, the United States of America. And really on this Ujima tip, getting our resources together in order to come to this common ground, because it's not just police brutality. Police brutality is the symptom of just all the racial discrimination and ills of capitalism that go on in this society.
This is what you guys were talking about earlier, as far as a lot of the old laws that they have on the books that you guys are trying to get repealed. I think that's actually extremely important, because no organized society that operates under the rule of law, a society only progresses as much as the law progresses. Things that are on the books, especially with the fact that we have something like a police force, which is still pretty much a modern concept. Going back in the day, there was some form of law enforcement where really and truly people more so trusted each other. They would have one or two people that would investigate major things, but now that there's a police force that's constantly there to enforce these laws that are put in the society that we all kind of live under, it's extremely important for us to recognize that the real power comes from being able to change those laws that are on the books. I think it's important work to get that done, and also extremely important work just on our end as everyday citizens to remain constantly aware of the things that are going on, and more importantly, as we start families, as we're communicating with each other, educate each other on the civic process, and work to get into those positions where we can influence those laws that are on the books. Because that's what really happens in America. It's like corporations have so much power, because when you have money, you can donate to political causes and keep people in power. And you can write up laws and have them passed. You get to maintain whatever power that you've managed to already acquire, and then push it even further. So I think it's extremely important for us to recognize that getting some of those older laws changed is just a small incremental step toward the greater good of creating a society that's really fair to everyone, as it's said it's supposed to be.
Squad.
Yeah, that's what we gotta do. We the people gotta do that work. I mean, that's what this theme is all about, honestly. Like, just recognizing that, acknowledging that, and acting on that. Ujima, the collective work, but also the collective responsibility. Like, it's not the same way you growing up. You can't just not cut the grass or do your chores. Like, you have responsibilities. You gotta do the work. You gotta make things happen. So yeah, thank you for those comments, man, for sure. And definitely want to encourage everybody to, even if you don't feel that approach. I know some people are like, nah, we got to tear the shit down. We got to, fuck it. Yeah, fuck 12, all that. I'm not saying that. That's not me, but I know too many people that feel that way. That's another extreme. If that's what you want, like, I just want people to do something. You know what I mean? Like, don't get killed. Try not to get killed. Try not to get locked up. But
my thing on that is like anything that's worth the sacrifice.
There we go.
Sacrifices, but that might be for another episode. I'll chill.
I'm not gonna preach it. We'll have another conversation.
If you haven't signed up already, I'm going to be walking around to make sure everybody signs up, just so we can keep in contact with you guys. And if you haven't already, please get our newsletter just to let you know what we've been doing and also how you can get in contact with us.
So, you know what I'm saying? We got two lovely special guests in the building. I'm going to have y'all go ahead and introduce yourselves for the people.
Hey y'all, I'm Anika, and I'm an artist and choreographer, and now newly organizer. But it just happened.
It just happened like it's go out the sky. Really.
Well, I really do believe that artistry is inherently political for most of us who are doing it. So I think it's like an easy bridge to cross. But yeah.
Hi, I'm Ashe. I am a performance artist via theater. I started off as a theater artist for many years. I still am a theater artist, and I also am an organizer and a person of the people. I'm a movement baby. So I've been movement for most of my life, and I've always been trying to merge the two, art and movement. And I'm obsessed with work that does. Yeah.
I sound like some hustlers, man. I got like 5-6 different jobs at the same time. You know what I'm saying? So I guess y'all both can speak on this. I had a few questions that coming into this topic. Concerned with Ujima, again, that's creative work, collective work. It could be creative, but collective work and responsibility. Yeah. Collective work and responsibility, definitely the issues of your neighbor and people that you don't know within the community. At the end of the day, it's still our issues collectively, because when one person may be going through at one time, somebody else may be going through another time, if not them, family member, etc. Y'all kind of touched on how y'all build within the community. How specifically, though, do you use your gifts and skills to serve others in the past and present?
I can talk first if you want. I specifically use my art to make political statements, and also to talk about my personal woes and making those political. And whenever I have a job, which I just got hired,
Let's up.
As an organizer for URGE, which is a reproductive justice organization. And whenever I have a job, I bring art to the job. I figure it out. I don't know how. I'm oh, okay, so we're supposed to have this meeting. Can I do a theater of the oppressed training for this meeting, or can I switch this thing around, our training? And I think that's how I balance it. I'm obsessed with the Black arts movement, and how during that time period, folks were artists and activists, and they were and there was really no distinction. You would be oh, this philosopher, and they're oh, this is my book of poetry. You're oh yeah, I'm reading an essay on being a Negro in the South, and then they got 30 plays out, about the same subject matters. And I felt they were really about the artist as the mouthpiece for the movement. And but I try to dedicate my art to the movement, and also my body to the movement. So not just being an artist that is just doing work, but also being an artist that is putting my work at the forefront of the movement. I think it's so beautiful to look at times when in the apartheid movement, the youth of South Africa, when they rose up, they did a march called the Toy Toy March. And the Toy Toy March is this beautiful dance step. And I'm that's art and movement, right? That's so powerful. You don't got no guns, you don't got, you got your bodies, and you are making a rhythmic noise, and you are marching with people, and you are making a collective power, right? And you're using, and maybe people won't think of that as art, but that very much so is art, right? That's performance. That's using art to make a collective form of strength, right? Because if I'm marching with my brother and sister, we're doing it on the same step, and we sound real tight, Like, you know, when you're in the club, when it's your favorite song and everybody sounding real hype and y'all all moving to it's just like a whole force of energy, right? It like wakes you up. You're like, I'm gonna jump up. Like when you hear Nothing You Up, you know? Like Atlanta has to jump up, right? Yes, no, Juju on the beat is not a song.
Yeah, don't ever. Don't ever say that shit.
I do those. We all look.
Love that.
Look, at the end of the day, this is something we have to acknowledge. You know what I'm saying? It's a generational thing. Like what we thought was hot, now we sound like the old heads. Like, nah, it ain't hot. It's supposed to be popping. So let them live.
I just checked out this person. All the other ones
It hurt my feelings.
So yeah, you know.
Some of the same things I feel like, for me, art is very much a healing practice, like actually practicing making art and giving it and like receiving it is a healing practice. So just last year, Crystal Mons, who's another yoga teacher in the community, I teach yoga too. We got together and did a healing dance and photography installation that was based on emerging and immersing people in color in order for that to kind of vibrate in a certain way with you and looking at the chakras and how that deals with us. So I really do believe that just ancestrally and also, well, currently it's just necessary to create in a way that's just like bringing beauty and color and vibrancy into the space and changing, like not changing but just putting forth more the narrative of our ancestry, which is color and beauty, and the use of those things culturally is for us like super important. So that's why I think that being an artist and creating, and we're all creators and we are all creators, is just inherently political in a certain way. That's why I say that, because it's a healing thing. And I like to deal a lot with, I'm a choreographer and performer, so I like to deal a lot with touch and how that collectively can heal all of us. Like reframing touch and making touch something that is supportive and changing like the narrative around touch sometimes being just an awful thing. I mean, some things that we have to go through.
I'm gonna go ahead and let's get to another question. What are factors in y'all opinion that get in the way of our community really practicing Ujima more? What are the things that are blocking us in order to like come together, in order to work collectively and hold each other accountable? Especially since y'all been putting y'all bodies out in the streets, touching all folks.
I think the first thing that came to mind, I'm just gonna say, is space and just not owning space for reasons.
It's colonized.
What are these reasons?
Well, we're starting from a place where we didn't have these spaces in the first place. So like we're in a gallery space right now that is part of a bunch of gallery spaces that are not owned by Black people or any people of any colors.
Okay. Say what your chest, you know what I'm saying?
That's to say, I'm speaking from like an artist perspective of just like gallery space and just spaces where you are able to express yourself in a way that people come to and look at your photos or whatever. But none of those spaces in Atlanta, that's not true. There are spaces in Atlanta that are Black owned, and Gallery 992 is a good space.
City Bank,
City
Windsor. 77. It's a couple. It's a couple.
So
this is Atlanta too, though. We should have
way more. And also the grant money is just distributed weird. Like when you really get into that stuff, it's just not. It's just. I don't know the words, but it's just not right. But like money is distributed, unfortunately, just in a way where the people who are holding it are not valuing the work of Black artists and women, and so space is one thing.
Okay.
I was gonna say capitalism.
Right.
Like is like a major force that we always are reckoning with, because we're inherently like ingrained in it. So it creates this like individualism because people need to survive. People need to like do what they have to do on an everyday basis, and it's like, how do we work collectively when I'm just like, I can't see how I'm even working for myself. But I think that we can get to those places like where we can live outside of capitalism, but it takes a lot of it takes a lot of work to do that, right? It takes a lot of us like having to give up some of our resources, give up some of our pleasures to build and be collective like that. And it's really hard. It just is. And we are put into the system where you win and then you lose, right? Like you get 10 steps ahead, you got a house, doing good, then your uncle have a heart attack, and bam, you out on the streets, everything has changed. That was a breadwinner. Like it's like this system is so it's like made to like make us fail, right? But we have to like live above it or get beyond or push beyond it. But it's not an easy practice. But I think we can practice it in very like simple ways. I was talking to somebody like last week about like a housing like situation that I lived in that really like opened my eyes to some really like cool ways that we can practice like collective living and collective work. Where I was like in California and had no money at all, not really. I was making very little money. And I found these people at a party one night and I was like, y'all going to this, it was like a queer event. And I was like, y'all going to this party? Can I get a ride? Yes, I'm that child. So I was like, y'all going to Queer Goofia? I'm on the way. And then they were like, yes. And I was telling them how I needed a house in my last month. And somehow like it worked out, right? Like the rent in my budget was just very low for California. I'll be transparent. It was like $450 was my budget. And California rent on a regular basis is like $650 is a no rent, right? Like $700 is a no rent.
Probably can find it.
So I found like they had a space for me, but like the way our house was set up, it was like 3 different families living and thriving together, and we had like collective like ways that we did our grocery shopping like once a week. You had to cook once a week for the family. You had to like do the dishes once a week. But it all like just having those responsibilities and living in a collective space, it meant that like I had to make sure that like it made me selfish. Like I may not want to cook on a Tuesday, but like I have to make sure that like I have that prepared, and I'm like, because the family's dependent on me, right? Yeah. And we have like even distribution of like resources. Like I was broke. I had no real money for food, but I could be like, here's my food stamp card, and like I'll throw that into our pile of groceries. And I just think it was like a really beautiful way of seeing like how a collective community could really work and thrive, and like how we could be together. And I started to build really close relationships with these folks because it's cool to cook for people.
Yeah. I'm in an art space like that where it's not exactly like that. We cook each other. But it is a collective space, and we all pay for that space to be able to work steadily as artists. So it's really beneficial because we get to have a constant practice and tea and a couch.
So, I feel like you guys have a pretty good sense of our guests. We definitely have more questions to ask that we think will be useful, but does anybody in the audience have a question for our guests about artistry, organizing, or anything really?
How do you just keep your head up through all that?
How do you stay inspired? Motivated? Okay. I did. Figure that out.
Next one. I'll wait for it.
I mean, I guess I felt inspired by, like, I don't know, this work is ebb and flow, right? Like, I met Shalom like what, almost 3 years ago, doing movement work that was like. It was like grueling movement work. It was like, oh, you beating up at 10 o'clock at night, about to plan action, being sleep. But yeah, sleep. Like just really working really hard, right? Like we met through movement work. I'm not gonna give too many more details because it's best to be watching. But you know, we met in a process where like everything was like in flux in Atlanta, and then it became totally non-flux, which is part of the reason why I left. Atlanta for that little while. And also because I wasn't doing art, right? Because there's like moments, like movement work is really hard to like be an artist sometimes because movement work sometimes moves so fast. Like they're like, we don't have time for, you to be like, I'm twirling and dancing and I'm trying to like pull this like cool, community action or community event together. Because it's like, no, somebody just died last night, so actually we need to be in the streets and we need to plan that in 5 days, or not 5 days, 5 hours, and that wasn't really helpful and it wasn't really healthy. But I think that like I sustain myself by when movement work starts to come back up, you try to ease yourself in and you find like community in that work and you try to like know that like movement work kind of has to happen, right? And being an artist has to happen because if I'm not an artist, I'm doing nothing, basically. I'm like, it's what I love to do, is what I've been doing for most of my life. So if I'm not doing art, I'm like in my room sad, like legit. How about you, Anika? Yeah.
I feel support from Eshe. But honestly, for real, like people around me, because otherwise, it's like nothing. But the same thing though, if I wasn't making something, I would be just, I don't know. It seems cliche, but yeah, without the art, it's like, I would be emotionally.
Like you said, it's therapeutic.
Yeah, and Audre Lorde says poetry is not a luxury, and she is right. It's about dreaming and making things, and it has more to do with our future in many ways besides the poetry, which is inherently great ways.
Yo, we actually got another question in the back.
I was just gonna ask, as far as the way that you want to utilize your art, is there a particular legacy you have in mind? Like, even if it's just one thing that you can think of, that if your art helps to accomplish this, then you'll feel satisfied with the work you're doing in your life.
I think Anika should go first this time.
Well, the first thing that comes to mind is my nieces, because it is personal, and it's also more too, because I feel personally responsible, collectively responsible to show them an example of, not what they're seeing on everywhere else. I think it's, and they're gonna look at it immediately and see that it's me, and I feel that way about then all of my other nieces who are not my blood, but all of the rest of the little people who want to be choreographers and don't have that option or they don't feel like they have that option because they won't be able to make money or nobody's gonna support it or any of those things. So I feel like if that is the thing.
I feel like my dream is to create collaborative art work with different artists that fuels movement work and fuels change, but also it's just no art, because art doesn't always have to be about justice. It can be justice to make art about you. It can be justice to make art about the way you braid your hair or the way you brush your teeth. It's justice, about that. I feel like that's art too, right? I think my dream would be to make art that is collective, that brings in more folks, and I don't know, I have these dreams of like practicing movement things, like revolutionary movement with artists. So like being like, yo, we need to like do this thing, one day, like we want to do this action and we need to like test it out. And like there's a collective of artists who are like, hey, this is how it may go down. And like folks who are like acrobats to like, do weird things like, and they'll come in soaring from the sky and like jumping on top of buildings and banner drops that are like theatrical and circusy. I don't know, like that's my dream, that art really becomes like ingrained in the way that we do movement work. And and that like artists just get chances to like also just do their art.
Yeah, and a quick slight digression, but still relevant, a quick plug for Murmur. If you guys don't know, they're all about DIY media. So I mean, that can take the form of creating zines, magazines, Black Noise, like whatever, I'm saying, like whatever you have in mind, or whatever your talents are. This is a great place, to have an opportunity to learn some of that kind of stuff and also be exposed to other people who are doing that type of work, media stuff, whether it be digital or analog, so definitely check them out. And if you want to like skill up and learn how to actually, if you don't feel comfortable calling yourself an artist, whatever, but anybody who expresses themselves is an artist, and you learn some of these skills with the tools that are available, knows what impact you can have on somebody else. It doesn't have to be for everybody. Like people saying, it could just be for your niece, your cousin, like who knows? Like so don't be afraid of the power of your own voice. Like everybody has something to say, not just us as the ones who walk in our artistry, but everybody, anybody can make an impact. I think we have an audience question or comments. So.
Audience/staff. That's cool.
But I want to know, I was just talking to you guys about it, but I want you guys to talk about, I think in both art and activism, there can be some form of like elitism within it, and a divide kind of like of the cool kids and the not cool kids. And I think something that Black Noise kind of pride ourselves on is like bringing those crowds together. How do you guys feel like your art incorporates that and brings that bridges that gap, I guess?
I wish I was a cool kid.
That shit was like, I don't be cool.
I definitely am not. Nobody look at my shit.
Y'all looking like y'all not with that shit.
Three at the same time. We are not.
I feel like that's also.
1, 2, 3. We are not cool kids.
Yeah, I feel like that's.
But you are now
next Facebook. But I feel like Black people are more community oriented, maybe. I wish I knew. I feel like I genuinely feel like if I had the time to go to the different Black art spaces, I could possibly get my shit to do. You know what I'm saying? I hadn't had time though. Organizing, school, blah blah blah. I would definitely say that a lot of these art, whatever you want to call them, organizations, I do feel that divide. I don't even bother trying to go up in there because,
like who?
The last place we was at. It fell apart on some, not elitism, but you guys.
The isms. Is another ism.
Shout out to.
Hey, that was high school.
So community, I feel like it's a lot more natural for our people. We got our problems, we got our elitists, but for the most part, I think that we kind of hold each other down. It's up to us to all come together and ensure that exactly what you're talking about doesn't happen.
Well, and art in general, it is.
That's the system.
They got like pillows with like one letter on them selling for $1 million. Just in some places,
it's all about power.
It is power and capitalism.
I was gonna say that when you said movement work, it made me think of like how in movement work the more visible you are, sometimes like, yeah, the more you're called or the more like people know, like I'm a chanter. And I remember I went somewhere and some like white girl came up to me and she was like, "You were so good at the march," as if my like chanting was performance, right? And like, but it creates this elitism, right? Like it creates like a persona that may not even really be mine, right? Like I'm just loud. I have a loud voice. I get bored if we're not hyped, so I just get hyped. And that's just like what I like to do, right? And also when you are in that life and you're doing it really fast, it can be easy to get into that space, right? Like I've definitely been there where I'm like, oh, they like really like us, or like they don't really know what's real, these kids didn't get together, or like they don't really know how to do movement work we've been doing. But like actually, I think the biggest thing is humbling oneself. I think sometimes you actually, humbling yourself just happens when it's like things are smack dab, slapped into your face and you're like, ooh, actually I look really
Right.
like I actually need to like calm it down, and I need to like open my mind to like, I am not, where I was, 1 year ago today, right? And every day I have the ability to change my mind and to be a different person, every hour, every minute. Right? And I think that like that's what it's about, right? Like learning how to humble ourselves, living in our own privileges, right? Because I know people don't like to claim privileges. I think especially folks who experience some sort of marginalization, like, right? We don't want to be privileged, right? Because that's just like a white person, white man, thing. And it's definitely at different levels of privilege, but we still have those things and they show up, sometimes when we least expect them. And I don't think, like, I'm definitely not perfect at it, right? Because I definitely get happy when I look cute, and like the likes on Facebook definitely make me feel great. They got like all kinds of scientific studies on that, because like our generation just fucked because we like constantly like, woo. Like when I posted my new job, I was like, refresh. And I was like, oh my god. It's so intense. So I think you just really have to like come back into yourself and be like, hey, I am one person. And everybody is just special. Chance for myself,
Yo, we appreciate y'all, first of all, taking the time out of y'all busy schedules out here flexing for the brand, flexing in real life, doing all types of ill shit. How can people get in contact with you all individually and collectively to help build more? You know what I'm saying? What's the best way people can reach out to y'all?
Instagram, Facebook. My Instagram is at REFHESH_ESH, which is at refresh_esh. And you can DM me on Instagram, and then I'll add you because I don't have a public page. And if you want, I can give you my email after. I don't want to like say that on the
because the feds is watching this.
Yeah. And you can be my Facebook friend too. I think I use Facebook the most. I'm on Twitter. And one day I'll have a website when I get my life together.
Hey.
Anika got one. My friend.
Y'all be sharing what space?
Let's be on there.
I don't have Facebook, and I don't check my Instagram.
That means no reason.
But I'm saying that to say I will give you my phone number. You can text me.
I can't.
Make you put your phone down for real. Hey.
Well, thanks for making yourselves available. Not to move past the contact information, please, like these are, we got them on the show because we think they're dope.
Just also post on our Facebook. We can also post on our Facebook page whatever contact information they feel comfortable sharing. That way, maybe not her number, but anyway. That way you can get in contact with them through our Facebook page.
Yeah, but please don't let this be the last time that you interact with them.
Right.
Like we said, they're dope.
They out shit in these streets.
I would like to hear, so two things that one thing that Eshe mentioned, and one thing about Anika that I just know, because this is how I met her. She gave me a number.
Try to get yourself in trouble. Right. Hell no. You on live. What's wrong with you?
Too much reality.
Shout out to the wife, right?
Right.
Shout out to the wife.
Anika, so the way that we met, honestly, town hall meetings at iDrum for artists. If you could talk a little bit about that, and Eshe, if you could talk a little bit about the Theater of the Oppressed. I feel some type of way because you guys are both artists. I guess you're lots of artists. I've actually never even seen, any of the solo, things that you guys, pour yourselves into besides the action that we've done, which I would thought that's how we probably would have met, but apparently it's not. That wasn't the case. I would love to hear you guys talk about the town hall, kind of why you started it, the idea behind it,
Before you on me, do the Kanye thing, Taylor Swift, but we actually have to wrap this up, so we're gonna have to talk outside, get the DMs. Smoke signal, we share those stories, you know what I'm saying? But thank y'all so much for definitely you want to come out to more podcasts, you want to listen to the podcast, you want to just stay in touch with the news that we're reporting on. blknz.com. I know I talk with my hands a lot, you'll get used to it. But blknz.com, hashtag blknz, IG is blknz media. That's the same thing for Twitter. Black Noise Media, Noise with a Z on Facebook. You know what I'm saying? You can get out of as many ways. Email, blknzmedia. You know what I'm saying? Phone. I don't be passing out my phone to anybody like that. But ain't no shade. You know what I mean?
I can't.
But definitely spread the word, tell your peoples about it. We're gonna be talking more topics, and definitely we're gonna keep y'all posted about the podcast coming up in March. You know what I'm saying? Anything else you need to say on your mind?
I got nothing else to say.
He loves his wife. He loves his wife. Love my wife.
And I appreciate each and every last one of you that came out. For whatever reason, something about what we're doing inspired you to come out. So we definitely thank you so much, because nobody could be here. We just talk to ourselves. So thank you all. We hope that we've inspired you to, engage in self-determination in some factor, whether it's school, on your job, through your artistry, like whatever it is, do something to uplift, the community, family or friends, both, all that. Just remember the concept of Ujima. One of the tenets of Kwanzaa. We won't get into Kwanzaa, but just keep that in mind, and please, as you go about your lives, hopefully you remember what we talked about here, be inspired to try to, enact some justice, or change, or self-expression. That's all I got.
Raindrops, drop tops.
And you guys can start by taking pictures inside our wall with your fists up. Yeah. If you want.
Thank y'all for coming, you know what I'm saying? Bless up, safe travels, all love.